Hello, hello. Thank you so much for joining us today for our podcast. Today, Andrea and I are going to be talking about local partnerships and how they can be a huge asset to your business. So today I'm going to be doing a little bit of an interview style with Andrea because she has so much experience even outside of medical aesthetics, hosting events, putting them together, networking with big partners. She worked in corporate before we joined forces together, and she just has a lot of experience with this. So, Andrea, I would love for you to just kind of start us off by talking about your experience and how you've noticed how local partnerships can truly just make or break a business.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. I'm really looking forward to sharing about this topic. It's such an important topic and a topic that gets overlooked a lot, mostly because it's not as flashy as, Facebook ads and Instagram ads. But I would say you could get a bigger return long term with building
Oh, yeah.
strong local partnerships. So I spent 10 years working in corporate America. RIP to corporate. So glad I'm not there. But I did work in a cancer center that's local to me. And my role there was building manager / operational specialist. And a large part of my role there was working on physician relations and just making sure that we had strong relationships with our physician community. So that way patients could be sent to us who needed help with different types of cancer. So what we did at that time was think backwards around who would send us patients, and then we would build relationships with people who it would be fathomable for them to send us patients. So as an example, we had surgical oncologists that worked a lot on GI cancers. So we would take those physicians out to meet with as many gastroenterology groups in Michigan and Indiana as possible. So that way, if they came across a complex GI cancer, they would then already know, like, and trust our physicians and send their patients to us. And that there's a lot of federal regulations around that with Stark laws and whatnot. So we had to be very creative on how we built those meaningful relationships. But definitely spent a lot of time doing that. And really, there's not a lot that's surprising about it. It's just building good old fashioned trusting relationships. And so that's really what this podcast is going to be about. And then the other part of my role there was helping support events. So we had a lot of events like survivorship events. We had breast cancer awareness events, huge races to small events in the building and stuff. And so events was such a great way to grow our community in multiple ways. And so I've kind of taken all of the experience and knowledge of those 10 years and really kind of applied it to what we do in marketing now. And it's something I never thought that would have happened, but it's really fun to kind of apply. It doesn't feel like that 10 years went to waste.
Yeah. So talk to our listeners about why would it be important for an aesthetics practice to have local partnerships? Why does this relate to them?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would say for any business owner that's listening, it's easy to relate to this, but you spend so much of your daily life just thinking about your business and how I can make my business succeed and what am I doing and how can I be better and what can we do and how can we help our clients better. And you're very focused, like with blinders on to just yourself. But as soon as you can start branching out and really trying to support others and really build those trusting partnerships with other businesses, you'll actually get more support to do some of those things that you're looking to do. And so for local partnerships, I'm going to take a look at my notes that I wrote here too. So local partnerships are super great because one thing that they really are based on is trust. And so when a local partner trusts you, then they're going to be way more likely to send a client your way. And so you're going to want to think backwards of like, who would my ideal local partners be? And then try to build trusting relationships with them. And that can, happen in a whole variety of ways. And then it also helps because, other local businesses are interacting with your ideal client and having conversations. And so the more that your business's name comes up or your name comes up, the more it just makes you like a staple or a stronghold in your community. even if they don't send clients to you, to just say like, oh yeah, I know Taleesa over at, Ideal Aesthetics and she's amazing. Just the more
Yeah.
that you come up or like, oh, my injector Taleesa, it just kind of helps. So the more that you do networking, the better.
Yeah. And I would say that other businesses already have the trust of your clientele too. And so I think all of us can relate to that. If you have a really good friend that had a good experience somewhere, then you automatically are going to expect you're going to have a good experience there. And so it relates, just like the more doors that you can get in and the more people that have a positive outlook on your business, the better overall. It's just going to have like a ripple effect.
Yeah, no doubt. I had to get a new OBGYN for my third baby, and I only went to someone that I knew two of my cousins went to. Like I didn't even
Right.
have to look her up. I was like, oh, if they went there, I'm going there.
Right. It makes a big difference for people. So
Hmm.
thank you for sharing that. Who would you say good local partners would be for aesthetic practices?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think with local partners, it can go a whole variety of ways. It sometimes depends on your local market. A big one would be plastic surgery offices or dermatology offices that are not offering aesthetics services. That's kind of unlikely to find these days. I feel like everyone, including dentists, are doing
Yeah.
talks these days. But even for services outside of that, if you have a laser or if you have, specific devices that you can kind of supplement what they do. That's a great idea, especially if they don't have things for like scar revision. That's a big one. And so, that's really helpful. I would say the smaller fish in the sea that actually can help you more likely to help you would be photographers, local photographers that are serving the bridal space. The bridal space is huge because your people are wanting to look their best. They throw all caution to the wind when it comes to spending. So if you can team up with any wedding photographers, makeup artists is a huge one. Taleesa, when you and I went to Austin and we did a dermaplaning facial the day before we had our professional makeup done, like you can't even imagine how smooth that foundation goes on, like
Oh,
butter.
yeah.
It
Yeah.
looks so much better. Our makeup looked amazing. So, a makeup artist is going to want their client to go to you first for a dermaplaning facial because it makes their outcome look better. So you
Right.
kind of, it's like scratching each other's backs, kind of. Hair salons, of course, if you think about it, a hairstylist is going to have a really trusting relationship with their client. Usually you go to the same person for years and years and years. Your mom goes there, your sister goes there, your friends go there. So, if your hairstylist also has had some talks done and you're like, oh my gosh, your skin looks amazing. They're like, thanks, I go to Taleesa. It's going to be really helpful to kind of share. And then some other unique ones could be like different gyms. I wouldn't say Planet Fitness, of course. I would say like higher end gyms, Pilates studios, yoga studios where they're more high end, like a Pure Barre kind of situation. Or a lot of our clients partner with boutiques that are near them.
Hmm.
We've seen a lot of that, like our clients partnering with them for like sip and shops and stuff. And so those are also really great local partners. Another one that's really unique that I feel like is a hot topic, and we've also done a different podcast episode on, is influencers.
Yes.
So for local partners, you could also kind of branch into the influencer space in terms of like, they're a local influence that could get people to come to you, but it definitely is a different relationship than the other local businesses. But you could think of influencers that are local to you as a local partner too.
I kind of want to go back to one of the ones that you talked about because I think there's so much value here, and I don't want any listener to like mull over this one. But I would say photography, truly, 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 I cannot emphasize enough how important having good photography partners is. And the other thing you can do with photography is you guys can do trades for service for each other too. So maybe they come
Mm-hmm.
in and take professional shots for you, and you say, like, for every bride that they work with, they can get like a package with you. And then you can try to upsell from there when you get a bridal client in. So having a partnership with the photographer can not only help both of you get more clientele, but also improve both of your business results as well. So it's like a win-win. The photographer is going to help you get amazing pictures for your clinic, and then you're going to make your brides look amazing. So the photographer has an easier job on the wedding day too. So working hand in hand in that one, I cannot emphasize or stress that one enough. If you only took one piece of advice from this, that's what I would say. Find an amazing bridal photographer to work with.
Yeah, I would say a good thing to do to partner with them too is, well, usually people are booking their photographer months and months and months in advance for their
Mm-hmm.
wedding, if not farther out than that. So they have plenty of time to get great results from a med spa, plenty of
Right.
time. So if you can put together a paper or some sort of a PDF that you can make in Canva, some sort of marketing material, just saying like your name, your services, and like your bridal package, and then tell the photographer for everyone that comes here, like I'll put, $75 in your wallet or something like
Oh
that.
yeah.
And then get them to share it and just say, like, I think you look amazing, but this could totally make you, look like a shining star on your wedding day, or
Mm-hmm.
like the mother of the bride packages are a big deal, but they're definitely getting in front of the bride. And that is the time where people throw caution to the wind with money for sure. And they're
Well,
willing to try new things to look their best too.
right. I mean, it's their wedding day. Of course, they want to look their best, and everyone
Yeah.
wants to look their best because those pictures are going to be on the wall or in those photo albums for the rest of your life. So,
Yeah.
people really do want to look their best, and your services truly do help them look their best. So,
Oh, for
part-
sure.
partnering with that is so key. Anyway, yeah, I appreciate all of your thoughts on good local partners. How would you find them, or how would you approach them if you were our clients or the people listening in?
Yeah, if I was listening in and I hadn't built any relationships in my local community yet, what I would do is I would first look on Instagram. And I think that's probably just like in your blood and mine to go to Instagram first now. But I would definitely go to Instagram and I would search. So I'm in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I would search Grand Rapids makeup artists and then I would look, or Grand Rapids photography. And I would look. And then I would just send them a DM and say, hey, I'd love to get coffee with you. Some of these things are not going to be the easy button.
Yeah,
They're going to have to be a real, true friendship, like a real, true relationship. And those do take time and making investments into other people and actually like caring about how they're doing. So I would try to just get coffee with, a few people that I felt like really were my ideal local partner. I would also ask my own clients, who did you use for your wedding photographer? Or have you ever had your makeup done? Or do you go to any gyms? Just kind of just loosen conversation to see if you can pick up a trend, and then trying to build relationships, because if one or two of your clients are going somewhere, it's likely a lot of other people that could be your ideal client are also going there.
true.
And so you're kind of want to think backwards there. And then, of course, Google is a great way to find people too. I will say with photographers on Google, which we've talked about photographers on the podcast before, but finding photographers on Google can be challenging because a lot of times you end up with like the corporate photographers,
Yeah.
so it's not always like the really high end wedding photographers that you're going to want to find, but you can always dig for sure. And then a huge one here in my local area is local Facebook groups. We have a really thriving Facebook group community here, if that's a thing. We have one for Grand Rapids women business owners, and that one, there's like 3,000 members, and people post in there all the time, like, hey, does anyone do actually the sweatshirts that I got us embroidered? I just posted in there and said, hey, does anyone do embroidery? I need a quick project. And I had multiple people say, oh, I do it. And so it was a great way to support another business, local to me. But yeah, I would say local Facebook groups is a great way to just reach out and say, hey, are there any local photographers? I'd love to create a partnership with you, and just really think of these as, actual friendships, actual relationships, and not just, they're not going to be the same thing as, the quick button of throwing up some ads.
Yeah. So true. But the long-term results of that relationship is going to really make a difference,
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion. Okay, great. So once you have some good local partners, what are some ways that you can continually engage with them so that they're like you're always top of mind for them?
Yeah, that's great, because you could really be like a flash in the pan with this, like
Yeah.
hit it really hard for a couple months and then just like fall off the face of the earth. And you totally don't want to do that. That would almost be worse than not reaching out to people in general.
Yeah.
And so I would say for that, events is a great way to get everyone together. And a lot of times they're going to be each other's support too, even outside of you. So the makeup artist meeting a new photographer, that's great. Um, so you could do different little events like a lunch and learn or a try it first. So say you get a new skincare line or a new device or a new injectable and you want to do like a try it first, you could invite your local partners for a little lunch and learn, get some box lunches from Panera, and then have the rep come and talk to them about it because they're going to feel exclusive and like special about it. And they're going to be excited to say like, oh yeah, my girl Taleesa, she showed me this cool new product, and they're going to be
Yeah.
looking and feeling their best. And it's going to help them want to share. Another thing you could do is have them at your own events. So a big thing that we do at Smith and Crawford is encourage our clients to host quarterly events. That's like a huge, huge thing that we've seen a lot of success for our clients in quarterly events. And I've been to quite a few of our client quarterly events as well. And it's so fun to go there and just see other local businesses they're supporting. So, like the permanent jewelry, I actually just now saying that I just had permanent jewelry done on Saturday. And they were asking me there, like, oh my gosh, Andrea, your skin looks so great. Like, what do you do? And I was like, girl, it's not cheap. It's not cheap, but like I absolutely love who I go to. So I was shouting out Krista, who's local to me, who's a client of ours, and telling them to go check her out and stuff and telling them about the skincare lines that I use and stuff. So it could even be like, little tiny businesses like that. But I was just thinking when I went to an open house local to me, there was a permanent jeweler there. And so I was just thinking that's another local partner opportunity. But it's cool to go there and see other local businesses, networking and growing. And so hosting them as a vendor at your event is a great way to support and network with them. Another one would be to host joint events, which we've seen quite a few of our clients do that. I think one of my favorite ones was we had a client in Virginia do an event where it was like a boudoir photographer, her, and then the chocolatier. And it
Oh,
was just such a
yes.
cute event. I loved that. I thought that was really creative. So, anyway, you can think up cute, creative ideas that are seasonal and ways to partner. So, hosting joint events, and then that way you're promoting it to all of your audiences. So, you're more likely to get more people to come.
Idea with that too is even if someone doesn't want to do a joint event with you, I still think having them be a part of it, even for like little gifts or giveaways or things like that, if they're willing to put something into your raffle, it really looks good when you're trying to get people to come to an event to be able to say, we have raffles from this company, this company, this company, a giveaway here. Everyone that comes is getting a gift from this company. Like it
Mm-hmm.
just makes the event seem more appealing too. So it's not only just making the connections with the businesses around you, it's also really appealing for your clients. It'll give them it's way more likely a client will come if they feel like they're getting more bang for their buck by coming.
Yeah. And it kind of legitimizes the event more.
Yeah.
It just makes it feel more legitimate to say, like, oh, we have, partnerships from 7 other local businesses that are coming to help, support our event and our clients that are coming. And there's lots of little things they can do. And then also, what vendor is not going to want to do that? Like,
Right.
what other local business isn't going to want to say, oh, everyone that goes to your event can have a $20 gift card for permanent jewelry when the permanent jewelry costs $100. So they're still going to make 80. Anyway, yeah, that's a really great point too. One that's not really my favorite way, but it's still a way that you could engage is with providing them with discounts. I don't love always discounting things, but you could do it in a way of trade for service. So, you're the local photographer is the best idea I can think of for trade for service, or even the makeup artist too, for local or quarterly photography. So
Mhm.
we really encourage all of our clients to do quarterly photography. So if you could do a quarterly shoot with a local photographer and then also, I'm making this up, do their talks every quarter, then, or, yeah, every quarter. And then you guys do the shoot too. Then you're kind of doing an even trade. And then that way you're both supporting each other and more likely to refer to each other. But it's not like you're not getting anything out of it. But you could always do discounts like 10% off or something. Probably one of my more favorite ones would be a referral bonus, where the hard thing with that is just tracking. But if you can get a solid tracking system in place where clients come in and you say, how did you hear about us? Make sure you always ask that question. And they say, oh, Taleesa, my photographer sent me. Then you're able to say like, oh, Taleesa Crawford, she's getting $75 in her wallet. Let me go add that. So you tell the local partners, for every person that comes in and says that you sent them, I'm going to put $75 in your wallet. So make sure that when you send people, they tell me that you sent them here. Because I would be sending people left and right. Let me tell you. For sure. So that's probably one of my more favorite ones because it's just kind of a good way for everyone to grow. Social media engagement is super free. Like you can do it anytime, all the time, as much as you want. You could pay someone to do it if you really wanted to, but tagging other local businesses in, different posts or stories, sharing their stories, commenting on things. As a business owner with an Instagram account, who doesn't love someone else shouting out your stuff in the comments? Like everyone.
Oh, I love it. I love it when people shout us out.
Oh, me too.
It like
Me too.
really warms my little heart. So I would say yes. And you can even have, I think something that would be fun is have like shout out Saturday. You could even make it a whole segment on your social media where you shout out a different local business that you love every Saturday. And then if that starts to gain traction, people are going to be watching for those every single week. And then local businesses might even start reaching out to you, being like, we would love to be featured. And then you can start building a relationship that way as well.
Yeah, Talisa, tell the listeners what you did for your personal Instagram, like what you do for your 10 days of Christmas or 12 days of Christmas.
Oh, yes. So every year, except unfortunately last year, just due to personal reasons, I always do 12 days of Christmas and I have a different theme every single year. And so last time I did my 12 days of Christmas, I did small businesses. So I wanted to have 12 different businesses that were small businesses because that was really important to me, especially during the holidays, because I feel like the holiday time for small businesses makes or breaks them. And so I wanted to shout them out. And so each day I picked a different local business. And when I announced this, that was the theme for the year, I had several businesses reach out to me asking if they could be a part of it. And I even had to have like multiple on days because there were so many people that wanted to be a part of it. So these kinds of things really do gain traction.
And then you did you had people enter, right, for the drawing, and then you gave away something from each local business every day.
Uh-huh. Yep. So I would create a reel every single day that it could be random. It could showcase the product. I had different agreements with every business that I worked with, but they had to follow me and the local business. They had to share the reel and comment on it. And then they were entered. And I mean, I had hundreds of entries
Did you
almost
get a
every
lot?
day.
Did you get a lot of feedback that people gained a lot of followers from doing that?
Yeah. I know that one business in particular, they were just starting. And I know she gained a couple hundred. And so I would
Wow.
say, yeah, so I would say like it really, really can be advantageous. And I'm not trying to say that that was like all me. Of course, she's starting to share more stuff and whatever, but I know that she was really excited to be a part of it.
That's
So I would
great.
say it's a great thing that you can do for your clientele and local businesses because supporting each other is there's nothing but good that comes from it. And to be honest, because I've worked with some of those local businesses, I received just random little goodie bags from them since then. I've also had them shout me out several times. Like maybe if I post something funny or whatever, they might tag me in their stories and be like, you have to go follow her. She's my favorite, which is so sweet. And so just building those kinds of relationships, it's not going to do anything but good. It can only do good.
Yeah, I love that. I always look forward to you sharing that on your Instagram. See, another way to engage would be Instagram takeovers, which are kind
Mm-hmm.
of fun because actually the trend has kind of come and gone for where I don't really see people doing that as much. It was a really big thing for a while. So I think bringing it back, people would be like really into it. They would think it was really fun. So basically how you do an Instagram takeover is you exchange passwords to Instagram. And then you would have another local business log in to your Instagram and take over the stories for the day. And so they would just get to get on stories and um, obviously be professional. No one's going to want to be unprofessional, but sharing about their business and just like shouting out how great you are and talk, kind of building up your partnership with each other. And then you would do the same for them. And it just kind of makes it a fun way to engage with followers. And you could do Instagram live too if you didn't
Yeah.
want to
Or
exchange passwords.
if you weren't comfortable with that, you could do an Instagram. I was actually going to suggest the same thing, an Instagram live together, or they can just send you a bunch of videos to post on your stories.
Mm-hmm.
So if they like prepared something ahead of time and just sent you, where it still was an Instagram takeover without them actually needing your password, that's also an option.
Yeah, it just kind of takes the fun away of what are they going to post?
But you need to do what you're comfortable with too.
Absolutely.
Maybe change your password right after the day.
Yeah, or like, who is this local partner? Like, you have to know who they are, Yeah, so those are kind of my ideas on how to engage them. So just to kind of like recap. So events, try it first events, have them at your event as a vendor, different types of joint events, having them at your event as a like raffle contributor is an idea that you had shared. Discounts, not really the best, but it is an idea. Referral bonuses, so putting money in their wallet for every referral they send. Social media engagement in all forms, giveaways on social media with them, Instagram takeovers, and then the trade for service is probably the biggest one that you could do, getting them to, be passionate about sharing your business.
Yeah, I love it. I think the last thing I really want to talk about with you, and I know we talked about this beforehand, but I think something that's really important with all of this is making sure that you're putting in deposits into the businesses that you work with and not just expecting. I think it's really important that you give without expecting a return, because that's when like an organic and authentic relationship can truly be built. And so, Andrea, do you want to talk with me through just like some things you think they could do to make deposits into these businesses?
Yeah, I'm glad that you used the word deposit because we actually had a business mentor, Taleesa and I did 2 summers ago. And that was kind of the lingo that she had used to share with us what this whole phenomenon is. And I feel like it just really explains it well. So making a deposit is, like you said, doing something kind or supportive without expecting something in return, knowing that in the future, like they would be more likely to, support you too. But a different way to do a deposit could be a handwritten card, just sending someone a handwritten note, like, happy birthday is kind of tough if you don't know people's birthday, but it could always be like, thank you for coming to my event, or, I wish you the best of luck. If you saw something on their Instagram about, they're going, they're having their 1-year anniversary event or something like that. You could always send like little gift bags to them in the mail. It doesn't have to be a big one. It could be stuff that your reps give you for free and just a couple things, and just say, hey, Taleesa, I just was thinking of you. I hope that this gift finds you well. I'd love to get together for coffee soon, something like that. You could send a little $5 Starbucks gift card. You can't really get much for $5 at Starbucks anymore, but maybe $7.50. Send them a little gift card. You can do that via text.
Or even if it's a business that's literally right next to yours, how sweet would it be just to like go in with a little coffee order in the morning or something?
Yes.
Just without them even without them even having a special occasion going on, just randomly popping in and saying, hey, I was thinking about you guys today. Just wanted to bring you in some coffee, or whatever it is, some kind of treat,
donuts, cookies. Taleesa and my love language is crumble cookies. Every single time that I'm talking to Taleesa and I'm having a horrible day, all of a sudden my door will go off and I'm like, who is that? And then it's some like college kid with a box of crumble cookies or a crusty old dude. But it's always my favorite delivery. Oh my gosh. But though, to send someone a box of cookies isn't super expensive, but it's such a heartwarming thing to do. And, that type of stuff, it's really as simple as treating these people like they're a friend.
Yep.
It's really as simple as it is. Like, what would make you feel warm? I do want to flip the script a little bit and think about what happens if you don't do this type of thing. And you don't have to go in as detailed as we did, but I would say the more you do, the more you're going to get in return. But I can think of a couple of clients that have like local enemies, where like the community has a local enemy and you just don't want to be that girl. Like, you don't want to be that girl where everyone's like, oh, we can't stand her. She's horrible. She's mean to people. She, whatever. I'm sure you can think of multiple people that I'm thinking of too, but you don't want to be that girl. So the more that you can just be a positive light in your community with, other local businesses and other people that would send you clients, even if they're not a local partner, the better. You just don't want to have a bad relationship. That's never good.
No, it's really not. You want to be the one that everyone just loves, that says positive things. And if you can do that, and here's the thing is it doesn't take away from your authority in your space or anything. I think sometimes that gets misconstrued where that's just not true. Like, just to be an expert or to be seen as an authority doesn't mean you can't be kind and loving and warm as well. So
Or
I think
personal.
just right, right. So I think that's just really important to think about is how do you want to be seen in your community? And it does make a big difference because word of mouth referrals, I will always say this, is the most powerful referral.
I actually want to share about that now that you mentioned word of mouth referrals. So we did no marketing at all for our business for the first couple of years, and we grew exponentially just through word of mouth referrals. It's only this year that we've started doing outbound marketing with email marketing, this podcast, and trying to work on our membership. But other than that, we've never, for our Done For You agency, we've never once done any marketing ever.
No,
And it's all been through word of mouth.
right. So if you treat people right, it will come back to you.
It will. It will. And you know what, though? When those clients that come from word of mouth referrals show up to you, they already have a sense of trust that you don't have to win over.
Yeah.
And it actually makes the relationship start out like 5 steps ahead.
Yeah.
Because they're already coming to you from being referred to you by somebody that they already trust.
Right. So it's so important. So I think out of everything we've talked about, the biggest takeaway, in my opinion, I would say, is be involved in your community and be a leader in your community. And that is going to, in turn, grow your business significantly. And you're going to build a business with people that love you and trust you and are not just there for the Groupon effect. They're going to be there because they're loyal to you, because they want to be a part of your clinic family. So I think it makes the world of difference. And I cannot stress it enough. Really trying to implement some of the things we talked about on this podcast, I think will be critical for some of your business growth.
I agree. I totally agree. I think it's a great strategy and just a feel good strategy too. And that stuff is fun. So
I'm all about the feel good stuff, as you know.
If anyone has questions or thoughts about this specific topic, you can definitely send us an email. Our email is in the show notes, but it's hello@smithandcrawford.com. We'd love to hear from you, and we'll look forward to sharing next week.
See you.
Thank you.